Hey folks, Vince from On Point Protection Skills or Ops. So, if you could please recommend a really good action movie because they are so hard to come by. Here I have an action movie. What it is, I've had this content for quite a while now, since January 31, 2023. I was on a plane, obviously watching whatever was on there, some action movie, and obviously there's going to be no sound. But what it is you got a sniper who's part of possibly a SWAT team, and they're about to take out one of the um, a drug house scout. I'm gonna pick this apart, but first I want you to have a look at. Remember, there's no sound to this because I was just kind of using my phone to record this, and see if you can pick out the what we would call it, poor editing or lack of editing, or um, lack of movie consistency, or yeah, just topic consistency maybe. Now, because of the world that I've been in, or the industry I've been in for quite a while now, I look at these things and I go, my God, that does not happen in reality. When it comes to tactical stuff, some of it I have to laugh, and I know, hey, these guys do the best they can. It's most likely a C grade movie where they don't have professionals, like they have professional Green Berets or Navy SEALs or SWAT guys actually helping them on the set. Looks like these guys kind of just winged it and did the best that they could. But anyway, have a look at this and then try and pick it apart. Watch it 3 or 4 times before I spill the beans on it. Did you get to see those little faux pas just in that short scene? Um, what would you call it? A bad movie edit? I wouldn't think so because it wasn't edited. That's the thing. It passed. It got shown on the big screen. So I did a little research, and the movie's called Commando, and it's a movie that Michael J. White is in. Um, Also, Mickey Rourke is in this one. It's a pretty sad one to watch because you see the transformation that Mickey Rourke went from back in the 2000s to now. The amount of plastic surgery he's got. Oof. Um, but I think he had reason that why he needed to get it done. Everyone has a reason why. So, like, I debated doing this kind of content for the longest time. Like I said, I've had this footage since 31st of January 2023. I debated doing it because I was like, would people be interested? And there's already some, like say, some Green Berets, some ex-military guys who already do this kind of stuff, who break down movies. Um, Not break them down in a bad way, but I kind of just point the good things and the bad things out and stuff that would actually work in reality. And they actually do such a good job of it. I just happened to find this movie and go, oh my gosh, I cannot believe the stuff that I'm seeing right now. Hopefully, um, they, the movie Michael J. White gets involved in, the editor, the producer improves on these things. And again, I don't know if they had the kind of support, if they had somebody from with a military background or weapons background to show them exactly what they're doing here. Not to say that I am your top operator. I mean, the world I live in is very different to the guys who go to Afghanistan. So yeah, I don't. There's a lot of stuff that I don't know. I know my world, my industry that I've been in, where we do a lot of crime fighting. I do handle weapons a hell of a lot. I've done a hell of a lot of training. So yes, it does qualify me to show you some of the stuff. But some of the stuff I'm not going to go into crazy detail because there's a lot of stuff we just don't need to know. So, do you need more time to watch this again? All right, so let's dig into this right away. Like I say, I'm no operator. I have not done tours in Afghanistan, but like I say, the industry that I've been in, we there's a lot of weapons involved. There's a lot of fighting. There's a lot of shootouts. There's a lot of hand to hand stuff that goes on as well. All right. So what do we look at? So generally, if this guy's a sniper, and like I say, I'm not a sniper, but I do a lot of shooting. if this guy's a sniper and you want to get the best shot, I don't know how far he was shooting from. Could it be 100 meters, 80 meters, 300 meters? Who knows, right? But because of the frame, you cannot really tell if this guy's kneeling or standing up. But he is resting on a window frame, and then he takes his shot. So here's my thing: if you want to be as sturdy as you can, prone is probably the best position to be in. Not only that, if you're about to take out the scout at a drug house, don't you want to ensure that shot? Now, look, I've seen hunters take animals out, or get their shot in, leaning on a branch, leaning on a single shooting stick. I've seen people shooting off someone's shoulder as well, and it works. They've done it. They've got the hit. But you know what? If they miss, they get to go hunt another day. But in a case like this, you get one shot. If you're not sturdy, hey, maybe look. And I get it. It's movies. Maybe this guy's supposed to be considered highly trained, and yes, if they're going to portray a sniper or somebody in a SWAT uniform or somebody who's doing special ops, these guys are supposed to be highly trained. So here you got a guy not in prone position taking a shot, and if he misses, then what? Right? You've just alerted everyone in that drug house. So generally, if there's that much narcotics in a building, you've probably got quite a few guys, right? Plus, they're watching the perimeter, so you won't be able to just walk up to the front door and breach it. They've got a holding perimeter around there. So you take a shot at this guy. They've all heard you. There's no silencer on this rifle, no silencer at all. So by the time you take that shot, the guys break or breach the door, breach a perimeter. It's probably going to be a bit too late. These guys are going to be on guard. That the average reaction to auditory is, if I'm not mistaken, 0.018 seconds. 0.018 milliseconds of a second, right? So everyone hears that, and you've just warned everyone off now. Okay. Now this looks to be a real rifle because you can see the bolt on it. What else? Okay, when this guy, it doesn't depict how long this guy is trying to get on target. But he obviously gets on target pretty quick. But his right elbow is raised. Now, for anyone who knows or who does any precision shooting, to my knowledge, we do not raise our elbow when we shoot. Why? Because there's a bunch of reasons, and I'll touch on a few of them really quick. So, if you're going to hold your arm up like this, you've got to use muscles to balance that elbow now. Believe it or not, you actually have to balance it. And look at what it's doing to my finger. So it actually makes it a lot more accurate. That rifle is not as steady with your elbow up. You cannot hold it up here this long, right? So you would drop it, and this would also help manage the recoil. Why? Because you're tightening all your muscles up, you're getting all your big muscle groups together, and you're pulling that butt into your shoulder so that you can actually get a nice shot, manage that recoil, and again, don't have any of this bouncing around. Maybe if you want to take a second shot as well, right? But it's not a semi-auto, it was a bolt action, right? You could get a second shot off, but not, again, with this arm moving around, you got to try and stay on your target. So that's one. The funny one here, actually, let's go on to another one. So because it's a movie, right? I'm assuming he's shooting a 308, like just a bare minimum, a 308. I've shot a bunch of them. There's a hell of a kick, and this guy didn't show much of a kick. Obviously, when he shot, he literally had to just fake it and pull the recoil on that. So yeah, there could have been a little more recoil on it. There was no suppressor on it. Then watch what he does with the trigger finger. No good shooter does this. Snaps the trigger. So as he shot, he pulled the rifle back and then finger came out. For anyone who shoots, who's really good with their weaponry, knows that that's something we do not do. Snap a trigger. Okay. Now here's the funny part. Did you see scope? Folks, did you see scope? I'm not talking about the brand of scope. To me, it looks like a cheap Chinese scope that's on there. Who knows, right? But forget about what the scope looks like. But folks, when he took aim, he still had the scope covers on, and he had a crappy scope cover on with these cheap elastic bands, right, or retainer bands. So how is it that, like, to my knowledge, somebody who's like in that kind of business is not going to have scope covers on like this. You can get ones with a little flip cover. You just hit a button, flips up. Now there's less things that are falling around, and you hear the noise on this, right? You've got to store this somewhere. You've got to put it back on, and there's so many things that can go wrong with carrying a scope cover like this. So not only that, this is the best, clearest part for the scope when it's got no scope cover. Having that scope cover on completely distorts your view, right? And he actually shoots with the scope cover on. Folks, I think that's where I have to leave it, right? That is such a bad scene. So yeah, if you guys have any movies you can recommend that I watch, I would love to watch a good one. If you want me to watch one and kind of pick something out of it, by all means, yeah, I don't mind. Like I'll review it as well and give it my best go. But yeah, that was kind of funny. And now I guess have I ruined it for movies for you guys? Hopefully not. But I've got a few other things that I'm going to watch for the next edit. Well, not edit the next video. I'm going to show you some other things. So there's just a lack of consistency in the movies. Right, folks. Take care and go out there and laugh a lot. Cheers.